Hey, I was just at a garage sale today. I picked up this Champion 4500 watt generator for 50 bucks. The guy said, look at that, the pull cord is screwed on this thing. I don't want to deal with it anymore. I said, no problem. I'll take that off your hands for 50 bucks. Guys, you think we can get this to run today? Well, we're certainly going to give it a try now, aren't we? Hey guys and girls, welcome back to Steve's Small Engine Saloon again. There's my website as usual.com. Check my website out after this video. I think you'll like it. 50 bucks for this thing. How could I not buy that? I already know that if the engine ends up being completely smoked on this thing, maybe the generator end of this is completely fried. I already know that I can get at least $200 worth of parts off of this. So it was a no-brainer for me to buy this thing for 50 bucks. Hopefully we're going to get it running and it works though. I've only done two things to this, you guys. I've not taken it apart at all. All I did was check the oil level. The oil is clean and is right at the level where it needs to be. And then I checked the fuel level. So I took that cap off the top. I looked in there with a flashlight. And you know what? There's a little bit of fuel in there. It smells fresh. And what I was shocked about was that the inside of this fuel tank is spotlessly clean. It is shiny. There's no rust, there's no water, there's nothing in that tank. It looks like a brand new tank on a brand new generator. Obviously, the first thing we got to do right now is fix the starter so we can get that working properly, and then we can check and see if it has spark and compression and all that stuff. So we got to fix that. I can't tell you guys right now how many beers this is going to take, how many Kronbockers this is going to take. I don't know because we haven't done it yet. Kronbocker? Am I actually saying that properly? Well, I'm not German, but I do know this is German beer, and I know that it's delicious. So, let's get this done. We're going to take the starter off right now. Guys, I know this from experience. When you have a length of pull cord like that pulled out of your engine and it doesn't go back in, there could be something jammed in here. So before you start taking that off, make sure that you pinch that cord, because sometimes when you start pulling that starter off, it releases whatever's jamming in there, and that pull cord comes whipping back in at 1,000,000 miles an hour, and that handle right there is going to nail you right in the side of the head. Trust me, I know this. Pinch the cord so that doesn't happen as you're taking this off. Let's take it off and have a look. Well, there goes that one. Okay, didn't happen in that case. What is wrong in here? It's turning around like this. Nothing really looks that bad in there. I'm thinking it's probably the spring underneath that. The recoil spring itself is probably broken or bent. Something like that. Well, guess what? Now we got to take this apart. Let's go. So we got that pulley loose right there. We take that spool off right there and look at the bottom side of that. And look at that spring. Check that spring out right there. It's bent completely backwards and really rusty too. That could have something to do with it. But obviously that spring inside the pulley on your starter is bent backwards like that. It can't catch where it's supposed to catch down here to actually hook onto there and make that rewind work properly. This is generally a really easy fix. You could replace the spring if you want to, but I'm going to bend it back just to get this going. You know what? If your starter is completely screwed, put it aside, because we can still check this out without the starter on it to see if this thing runs, because I'm impatient and I want to see if this thing's actually going to run before I even fix that starter. Okay, I got my emergency rope right here. I got to pull it this way a little bit so I can pull it properly, we'll do a close-up on this. Let's just check this out and see if we can get this thing started. If this thing starts on the first pull, I'm gonna cry. On, everything's on. Choke is in the on position, there's fuel in it, fuel is on. Let's see what happens. I'm gonna give this a pull. Well, now I don't have to cry at least. Let's give it another one. Let's see what happens. Nope. Nope, it's not gonna go. That's kind of what I was hoping was gonna happen, to be honest with you. I didn't want to just fix the starter and have it fire up in front of you guys. You guys already think I got horseshoes up my butt for the lucky 4 videos I put out before this month. Well, let's just start right now by fixing the starter itself. I'll show you how to do that. Here we go. We need to take a pair of needle nose pliers, works good for me. And I'm just gonna start working this and get that spring bent back around where it needs to where it's gonna actually catch that. So that's what it looks like right there when it's pretty much, that's what it looks like when it's new. I think that's gonna work. Before we put this back on there though, that spring is so rusty. I'm just gonna take a little bit of lube spray, just trickle a little bit on there. Help that out a little bit before we put it on. All right, we're gonna put this back together then. By the way, I do have a video again, right up here in the information button at the end of this video. There's some thumbnails there for you too on what I'm doing right now with rewinding this rope. If you want to see exactly what I'm doing there. Just don't want to waste you guys' time. Now look at that. Look at that. Now it's working properly. So where we bent that spring right there is now catching on that little catch on that housing, and it's actually working right. Let's zip this sucker back together and we'll tighten the cord up. Hold on. All right, we just got it buttoned back up right there, and you'll still see it still works, but the pull cord's hanging out a little bit right there. I'm gonna do it right now, and yeah, again, guys, I hate to keep saying this, but I got another video. I'm not gonna waste your time today on doing another redundant video. It's up there in my information button again, and at the end of this video, on how to take up the slack on a starter rope like that. Isn't that magical? There you go. So we just fixed that starter. Done deal. I'm going to bolt it back on that generator right there. And now we got actually a flying chance to actually start figuring some stuff out on here. Okay, so we just got the starter put back on there. And now we can actually, you know, it's easier than emergency roping it every time. So now that's done. We can go into the carburetor now, maybe the valves, stuff like that. It's obviously not going to start just with that. Oh my God. Can I cry now? I can't catch a break, you guys. I was hoping I was not going to start and that we were going to get into the carburetor and stuff like that. Man, this is really interfering with my videos. Where were those horseshoes stuck up again? Man, that runs absolutely awesome. Oh, hey, but you know what? That's only half of a generator. The engine can run just fine like that, but doesn't mean it's putting out power. Got something to try. Okay, I got an angle grinder right here. Let's see if this thing actually produces power. Hopefully it doesn't, so we can get into the generator end of this. Maybe we'll learn something from that. Everything's ready to go. Let's try it. That's awesome, you guys. Hey, by the way, I do have my ventilation system in here going full speed right now. If you guys don't have a ventilation system in your garage or your shop, make sure you take this outside before you start it. I have to say that, guys. Did you see that little edit right there? We just jumped forward in time about 2 hours. During that time, I took the carburetor off of this thing. I had to see with my own eyes. I opened it up and it was whistling clean in there. It looks brand new inside of there. I checked the valve lash, the valve clearances on this thing, absolutely perfect. I checked the spark plug, I checked all that stuff. I took this outside and let it run with this 1500 watt heater plugged into it. I let that thing run for about an hour. It didn't miss a beat. I can't think of one other thing to do with this. It is absolutely perfect. Was that worth 50 bucks at a garage sale? Put some comments down underneath this video right here and let me know what you think. That didn't cost us any money, you guys. Maybe a little bit of lube spray on there and about a half a can of beer. Subscribe to my channel, give me that thumbs up button, hit that like button, guys, and share this with your friends. Till the next video, guys, I really hope you learned something from this. Maybe I saved you some money, maybe I didn't. Steve out.
Yeah.